My jealousy of the sighted was an obsession. My own private aggression, an unlearned lesson, chains of oppression, a blindfold over these holes in my face, these deformed storm-colored eyes. Soul would never dance in my skies, only a red dwarf would rise, doomed never to see what you mean, see what I'm saying, see the opportunities, my lot never changing despite the fervent praying. Intercession. My impaired sight saw a Saul of a man, a king of the people, a tall of a man, walk past the small of the land, weeping with tears in her hands. With clear vision he looked with perfect eyes, and looked away from her broken-hearted cries. And finally, to my surprise, my sight became insight, then opened my inner eyes. Acuity, depth, focal point is not the true vision, but discernment and perception, the components of wisdom. Everything I touched turned to gold, a mindless Midas, all plus and no minus. Yet truth be told, I was worthless and mightless, a prisoner of my own pride, one who enjoyed success but never tried. Doom stretched its hands out to touch me from the other side. I couldn't stop the slide. Then, intercession. My nemesis laid upon my cheek an ungentle touch, but sharp and rough, but just enough for the lesson to sting. Those hands weren't meant to reach only for pleasure, but to claw deep into the earth and work worth my measure. My ears were filled with sweet sounds of adoration. A preacher you'll be, a man of invocation. The unsolicited praise lifted my station for a duration. I was a sensation. Then intercession. I learned some doctrines were false, and I started to question. My curiosity quelled and curtailed my progression. The mammon of man they took from me till nothing was left. They afflicted me mute, soundless, and deaf. In that gray void of voice and the unbounded sound of steel, God whispered as loud as the thunder of the storm, "Go, do my will." I've smelled the most fragrant of flavors, tasted things the kings savor, imbibed from the fruits of my labor, enjoyed the ruler's favor. My rewards now instead of later, shunned the lesser and embraced the greater, inhaled the perfume of alma mater, certain it would never waver. Then intercession. My offering stank and was cast down. To the kings I became a clown. My fruits withered in the barren ground. The worldly rulers in my presence frowned. My rewards could not be found. I had naught but a feather, and they took a pound. I sat in the bile of unhallowed ground. I was sure to disappear without a sound. Stripped of all taste, with the exception of salt, I was poured deep into the wound in the midst of the fault. Finally, my connection to intercession.